So let's call me Kiki, since that's my username. I was 16 at the time and I just finished my GCSEs. If you're American and for some reason don't know what GCSE means, it's basically final exams ever unless you want to go 2 more years. My friend's circle was quite big, but where I lived there was only 3 of us. Me and 2 other boys that I was good friends with. Let's call them Peter and Luke. In the big friend group there was 10 of us. But the people who you need to know is Peter, Luke, me and a girl, let's call her Riley. Riley was a proper drama queen who was really popular. She had thousands of exes and so much beef. I met Riley when I was 12 and we got along through movies, music, pop culture, etc. This incident happened in July. It was a Sunday, I think, because I remember my mum nagging me about going to sleep and shit and how it's a school night. So my day was normal, nothing really happened. Before I went to bed I heard rocks being thrown at my window. I looked out and saw Riley. Riley didn't live in my village, so I was really shocked. By the way, it was around 2200 hours. I sneakily ran downstairs and out of the house to ask her what she was doing. She said something like, "My mum was being a proper bitch, so I got the first bus I saw, and here I am." So I asked her, "How do you know where I live?" She says on Snapchat. I told her to go to Peter or Luke's house, because I had no idea what to do. She said we should both sneak out at 3 a.m. for fun. I was totally against it until she called Peter and Luke. After Riley told me they were going to sneak out to the park at 2 o'clock, I agreed I would come with as long as they waited for me outside. We planned on going to the park, and to stay there for an hour and a half, and then Riley would stay at Peter's house. I sneaked back in the house and planned a perfect plan. Everybody went up to bed and I waited until somebody was in the bathroom having a wee. When my brother went to the upstairs toilet, I rushed down shouting I'm desperate, implying I was going to the downstairs toilet. However, I stole the keys and unlocked the back doors for later. I quietly put the keys back and went back upstairs. I brushed my teeth and got ready for bed. I went back to my room, and instead of changing into my pajamas I changed into black joggers, hoodie, etc. I packed a bag with a knife and pepper spray. You know why? Because it's dark at night and I don't want to get murdered. I charged my phone and packed a torch as well. I texted Riley and she sent a photo of the 3 walking to my house. I stood at my window until I saw them. They saw me and I saw them. I tiptoed my way downstairs and went through the back because that door was way quieter. I closed the door and grabbed my flashlight. I met up with Riley, Peter, and Luke and we walked down to the park. Once we all got there we climbed the kids' building. It was just a house with slides and shit with a roof on top. I went into the corner and we just ate and messed around. We even had a fun game of tag. Everything was fun and harmless until we had 30 minutes left. Luke pointed out that the institute building lights were on. If you don't know what an institute is, search it up. We all got a little creeped out but ignored it. I recorded a video of the lights and uploaded it to TikTok. The next 10 minutes were us doing TikTok dances. While I was doing the renegade, LOL, I saw the institute doors open. I wanted to scream but I just pulled a clown face. I crawled to my Luke, who was recording, and whispered him to get down. I told him the institute doors just opened. His face turned pale and scared. We crawled up the stairs to the house where Riley and Peter were making out. WTF? Well, that was our friend group gone. Riley was going to cheat on Peter and make a big drama about it. I sternly whispered to them, stop, the doors to the institute just opened. They both looked and we all saw a figure waving. We all lost our crap out of fear. Riley's breathing became heavy and loud. We didn't know what to do, so we kinda just stayed there and looked. The figure stopped waving and became sprinting forward to our direction. Saws the institute was like 75 yards opposite of the park. Riley was going to scream but Peter covered her mouth. We all picked up our stuff and was going to run somewhere, but we were trapped in a park. By the edge of the park there was a wall to a field and a house next to it. So, we ran to the wall and jumped it, not knowing what next. The figure, now obviously a man, was at the gates of the park. Peter pointed to the street of houses saying we could run there. So we ran to the wall next to the houses and jumped that. The man shouted out, "You can run but you can't hide." Out of a horror movie. Luke stopped us and rushed us over to a house. He quickly turned a rock next to the house door over, where a key was. He opened the house doors and let all of us in. I whispered to him, "Whose house is this?" He whispered back, "My grandpa." He locked the door, turned, we hid under the stairs. What next? I didn't want to get in trouble. So, we waited until 5:45 and we all sneaked back out. We thought 2 hours was long enough, so Riley, Peter and Luke walked me back home first. I sneaked back in, locked the doors, and nobody had noticed. I got changed and went back to sleep. I woke up 2 hours later, my mother shouting my name for breakfast. I told mother I wasn't feeling well and took the day off to get that extra sleep. We didn't report anything to the police because the guy didn't do anything. My phone is gonna go out of charge, so let me just finish off by saying that nothing really happened after except for us telling our friends and shit. And questions please ask, but that is the end.